always wanted to do, or take up painting, something like that? Well, our faith community locally really has got in on the act with surprising results. Richard Littledale from Newbury Baptist Church is now a very familiar voice here on the show, and he'll be with us again just after 8:30 this morning with another local live service. He's also written 2 separate books to provide support for children during the lockdown. And also, Emma Major, a minister from St Nicholas Church in Early, she's disabled, partially sighted, yet she has managed to illustrate a new book of pictures and poems all about the COVID-19 crisis in a way she's described as miraculous. So, good morning, Richard, and good morning, Emma.
Hi there. Good morning, Paul.
Hi, Richard, let me come to you first of all. What are your books covering?
So one of them is about social distancing. I have a series of books out about a little mouse called Albert, and I spoke to my illustrator and said, hey, how about doing something on social distancing to explain it to children? So she was up for that, so was my publisher, so we produced that. And then the second one, I have a great friend who is a senior children's nurse, and I was talking to her about the real problem of children losing adults to the coronavirus. Now, some years ago, I had written a book to help children deal with the loss of a sibling, and I said, well, look, we really need a new story for this new need. So on Sunday the 26th, in between the BBC Berkshire service and my church service, I wrote the story. She sort of signed off on it, and then within a space of 7 days, we managed to get that up on Kindle and available as a free PDF.
Wow, that really is quick. Emma, what about yours? Your book, what's yours about?
It's about a character called Little Guy, who starts off lonely, sad, weight of the world on his shoulders, alone, and through a series of 25 pictures and poems emerges in little steps out into the world, through hope, finding hope again, to be fully active and happy again.
And being partially sighted, I have to ask how difficult it was to draw the illustrations.
Well, it was surprisingly easy. So I woke up in January with these 3 pictures in my head in their entirety. I've never had something like that before. And just knew I had to get them onto paper and just drew them. And over the next 2 weeks, 25 more pictures emerged. Yet I can't draw them again in that detail, nor can I see them without taking a photo and zooming in. It really was God at work.
So this was a window in terms of the degeneration of your sight, where you could actually go into a lot of detail, but sadly you won't get that back.
Well, yeah, no, I won't get it back, but I couldn't actually see it that well then. It was all done just through putting down what was in my mind onto the piece of paper. It just had to go down onto paper. So I lost most of my sight. I'm legally blind 4 years ago. I have a small tunnel of blurry vision, and yeah, these pictures they were totally different to anything I've done. I've been writing poetry all my life, so that wasn't strange, but these pictures are something out of the ordinary.
Richard, one of your books, as you say, is dealing with a child's attitude to bereavement and how they handle it. How do you approach something like that?
I think you need to find a way to help them talk about what they're going through without talking about themselves. So this little story is called Marvin the Maple Tree, and he loses a big oak tree that's growing next to him. And as you work your way through the story, so there are questions that arise about, well, how is life different without the tree there, and how is he going to feel now, and how will he remember him? And by talking about all of those things at a slightly oblique angle, you can then put a tool in the hands of whichever adult is working with the child to try and articulate that very difficult conversation. A lot of us, whether adults or children, find it hard to talk about our own feelings. But by talking about the experiences of the little tree, so the child can begin to unpack what they're actually going through themselves. And I'm delighted to know that that's already being used by people in hospitals and other places around the country too. It's such a hard conversation to have. especially with a child, and any tool that can be placed in their hands to facilitate that conversation has got to be a good thing. So grateful to the kindness that helped me bring this about. So there's an illustrator in Wales, Tara, who as soon as she heard about it was producing illustrations for me at the rate of 2 or 3 a day and brought the whole thing together very quickly. And it's such a hard thing to deal with, so to give any kind of help to those doing so has been a real honour, actually, a real honour.
Wonderful. Emma, as someone who has a disability, how have you coped during lockdown? I'm thinking in terms of doing your job as a minister at St Nicholas Church. How have you coped going about giving the spiritual help that is needed for people when you have a disability, when you're in a wheelchair?
Well, actually, when I became disabled, I spent the best part of a year pretty much in lockdown because it happened very rapidly, and I wasn't sure how to go about, out and about in the world. I'd lost all my confidence and my physical ability. So I feel very blessed that I'd had lots of counselling and lots of support and had got through that. And I actually started doing a lot of ministry online, so do lots of digital church outreach. And so over the last, how long has it been, 9 weeks, I've helped put St Nicholas as a parish church online. So we've created a YouTube channel, we have our services online, Zoom meetings, prayer meetings, home groups are on Zoom, all sorts of fabulous things, recording the services onto CD and putting it through people's... volunteers put them through people's letterboxes, so even those who don't have the internet can put a CD in their CD player. It's amazing what can be done, and lots of phone calls.
Well, finally, let me go to the two of you. Richard, first of all, the names of your books and where can we get them?
So one of them is called Marvin the Maple Tree, and you can find that by looking it up as a Kindle book, or you can go to Newbury Baptist Church website and find it there. The other one is called Albert and Social Distancing, and again, if you go to the Newbury Baptist Church website, you'll find that there. Both available as free PDFs.
Fantastic. And Emma, what about yours? What's it called and where can we get it?
It's called Little Guy, Journey of Hope, and it's available from Iona Books, Wild Goose Publications, or you can look up Little Guy, Journey of Hope on Facebook, and all the links are there. And again, available as a download at the moment, but will be going into print once this lockdown is over.
Brilliant. Emma, thank you so much. Richard, thank you to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Richard, we'll speak again in about an hour for our local service. All right. Thank you. Thank you both. Cheers.